Alright, so desk is down in the garage right now. Just got back from the hardware store with all the supplies I'll need. Get a big old too much paint, honestly. Then just some painting supplies. Bought a thing of wood glue to reinforce it and some polyurethane to make it nice and smooth. But first thing I have to do is on this top part, each of these four pieces, I'm gonna trim about 3 inches off. So start with that. Then similarly on each of these side pieces on the bottom, take another 3 or so inches off of those. So that's where I'm gonna start. Hopefully I can at least get them removed today, and then maybe start cutting either later today or tomorrow or something. But here we go. Alright, got the top shelf all taken apart. There's the top board. And the supporting pieces, or the racks really, are there. Got those three cut down. This is the last one to trim down. So, I mean, you can see I'm taking quite a bit off, but that'll be nice. So you can see where that line is. Still gonna have a little bit of a gap above the racks, which I think will be nice for, get a little airflow in there. Yeah, one more cut to go, then probably might call it a day. I don't know. We'll see. It's such a nice day outside, so kind of want to keep working. So, all right. And there it is. I actually got this done pretty quick. So the top piece, you can see there's only about, I don't know, half-inch gap there now. Reinforced it with some wood glue. So that's drying now. So I can already tell, even though the glue's still wet, I can tell it is way sturdier. I'm just gonna fix that screw. Yeah. And luckily and nicely, all the measurements came back, so it's still perfectly spaced for a rack gear. So let this glue dry, and since this only took a little bit, I might start working on the main part of the desk next. So, all right. So next up, I'm going to start tackling the side pieces. So I have the first one on the table here, the bigger one. Not sure how I'm going to go about this. I'd like to not completely disassemble it, maybe do piece by piece, but we'll see how it goes. But again, essentially I'm just taking these two sidewall pieces and going to trim them down a couple inches. And really, the main reason for doing that on these side pieces is it'll lower the main part of the desk, this part, lower it down a little bit so that my monitors will be almost like perfectly at ear level. So that's kind of the whole reason for this. So I gotta kind of think about it and see how this is gonna go, but I'll keep you updated. Well, I opted to completely take the side piece apart. Once I got going, it just kind of seemed like the easier way to go about it. So I got the two side panels all marked up, ready to go. Gonna chop them off and then put it back together. Alright, got one of the side pieces reattached, and this is precisely why I did not want to completely take it apart, because completely putting it back together is a pain. So just doing that one attachment took me almost an hour. So I'm gonna have to call it for now, get back to real life. So finish it up here shortly. All right, got the back support piece on now. So now getting this other side panel on will be a lot easier. So I'm gonna put that on and then quick put the top on, and this one will be done. And boom. The right section is done. The rest of it actually fell into place pretty easily, so that's nice. I don't know why I didn't put glue on this in the first place, because the glue I put on here now, it's not even close to dry, and this is already so much more firm and secure and sturdy. So that's pretty cool. And just for comparison's sake, here's the left one. that's how much I cut down. So that'll be nice because, like I said earlier, having the desk surface, somewhere a little bit above this, that'll put the monitors, more in line with ear level. So it'll be good. Next up, I'll start tackling the left side, get that trimmed down, and then it's on to painting. Side 2, gonna start taking this apart now. First step is gonna be to take off these stupid wheels, which were a mistake to put on in the first place. But I think I'm gonna do this a little differently for this one. I'm going to do one side at a time and try and keep it as together as possible. So I think what I'm going to do is just take all the screws and everything out for just this piece of wood, cut it down, reattach everything up there, and then do the same for the other side, and then just reattach this bottom piece to both sides. So we'll give that a shot here. Alright, side piece cut down and reattached. The whole process took all of 7 minutes, so this is definitely the way to go. So we're going to flip this over, do the same to the other side, and in doing so, this bottom piece will just kind of fall off. So flip it over, cut it down, done. Both sides are done and reattached, and it's actually upside down right now. But so I'm just gonna put the bottom piece right back on, and then this is done. Work smarter, people. This was way easier than the other side. And here they are, both the side pieces next to each other, all completely rebuilt. And I gotta say, they are so much more sturdy and structurally sound, that's for sure. Yeah, they're not perfectly same size. There is a little bit of a gap, but once I get the top piece on, that won't matter. So yeah, so all the chopping and redoing, that's all done. So all that's left to do is let this glue dry for a couple days and then start painting. Well, it took a little longer than I was hoping to, but finally got everything cleaned up, wiped off, and taped up, and it's ready to start being painted. Since I just wiped everything off, I'm going to give it a day here to really let that wood dry out, and we can start tackling painting it. Alright, painting has commenced. So I got the first paint on here right now. Got the top piece and the slide out keyboard. Just what you see is what's painted. So once this dries, I'll flip these pieces over, grab the other side, and start moving on towards the rest. Yeah, I really like how this color's looking already, and I applied it pretty thick, so I'm gonna see how this goes, and I'm hoping for the desk overall I can get away with only doing one coat, but we shall see. Alright, so we got kind of carried away here and got a lot more done. So the entire top rack is completely painted right now. Might need a little touch-up work, but I don't really care that much. Same with the slide out, it's done. And the bottom pieces are all done as well. So everything's looking really good, and I think this black color looks really sharp. So next up, gonna do the main top desk. I've got it flipped upside down right now. So tackle the bottom part and let that dry, flip it over, and that's pretty much it for painting. Underside, done. Looking good too. Gonna let this dry, and I don't know if I'll get to it tonight, but just gotta flip this over, do the top side, and that's it for painting. So I can't believe how quick this went. Alright. Here we have it. A freshly painted desk. Everything's been painted, top piece is done, did a little bit of touch-ups, not much actually, and the two side pieces, the slide out, the top rack. Yeah, I could not be happier with how well this is turning out. absolutely love this color. I think it's gonna look so sharp in the room. But yeah, just gonna let this dry up really good for the next day or so, and then throw a coat of poly on it. So I'll see you then. First coat of polyurethane has been applied. I've never done this before, so this is kind of new to me. But yeah, it's still wet and can't really tell how well it was applied or any of that, but I don't know, I think it's looking okay. So all of these pieces are flipped upside down, so I'm getting as much as I can that way. Then once this dries, I'll flip them right side up and then just get the last couple pieces and sides on it. And then once that's done, then I'll grab the main level of the desk, flip that upside down, do a quick coat on the underside, and yeah. And then there's gonna be something special for the top of this. Yeah, just gonna let this dry for a little bit and then see where it goes from there. Alright, the rest of the poly's been put on, so everything's been covered so far. Gonna let this dry for a little while. I am gonna hit this top piece again with the second coat. I really want the top pieces of these to really have a big thick layer on there, so it'll make it a lot easier to clean up and all that. So yeah, coming down the end of applying the polyurethane. So this is the main level of the desk flipped upside down. Got a nice light coat on there to add a little protection. Then once this dries, I'm gonna flip this over and I got something real cool for the top portion of that. But yeah, look how nice this turned out. Everything's all nice and shiny and good and protected. So yeah, I really like how this is coming along. Almost done. So this is the last piece of the puzzle right here, the main part of the desk really. I'm not going to put any polyurethane on it, at least not yet, because I picked up this. This is going to go on top. And what it is, it's a graphic decal thing that's actually meant to go on like a door or something, but according to the measurements, it should fit this perfectly. So I'm going to put this on right now, and then I also have a can of spray poly. So once this goes on the desk, then just hit it with a light coat of the spray poly to kind of tack it on there and, you know, see if it'll mess it up or anything. And then if that all works out, then get a good thick layer of regular poly on it. So start doing that now. And behold, the finished product. Look at that. Still letting it completely dry out a little bit. Some of the poly was a little gunky still, but I could not be happier with how this turned out. Did not put the slide out keyboard thing back in yet, so I'll be moving it shortly. But yeah, this turned out so well. I love how the polyurethane on top was a really, really good idea. So like if I, you know, spill a can of pop or something, I'm not gonna worry about it soaking into the wood anymore. I love the color, and with the poly on it, gives it that nice glossy finish. Putting this decal on was kind of a pain. It didn't really line up perfectly. It's a little off. There's a lot of air bubbles and scratches and stuff, but I don't care. This is function over fashion here. But yeah, this is gonna be great. I love this. I cannot wait until it's fully assembled, gears in it, running up in the new room. It's gonna be good. So there it is, the new workstation. I absolutely love this, and can't wait to show you what the finished room looks like with this as the centerpiece. Alright, take care.